Hey there, Facebook. It's Fonz. I want to share some things with you that kind of heavy on my mind lately. Um, I want to share some of the experiences that a black police officer goes through. Um, we, you know, the current state of affairs, things have gotten pretty crazy for the police department, police officers in general. The average cop kind of has it bad. The black cop has it worse than him, and the good black cop has it the absolute worst, which means we go through things because we're constantly in a state of trying to do what's right by sometimes people who don't reciprocate the care that you have. So, on one, if you have a minute to watch the video, if you can, the second part's more important than the first. So if you can hang in there for about 5 or 6 minutes, and I'll get to the second part. But the first part is the things that I've dealt with as far as dealing with the police. Um, I'm in some social media groups, some police oriented social media groups. Not necessarily Pittsburgh police, but Pittsburgh area police. Um, most of these groups are comprised of retired officers or people who don't work for the city of Pittsburgh or used to work for the city of Pittsburgh. So I didn't really see any active city Pittsburgh police officers. So it's probably not a reflection of them. But however, in some of these groups, I've been in these groups for a couple of years, never really comment much because I don't have much in common with the people in those groups. Um, they're not really the type of people who I would associate with outside of being a police officer. Um, when things got a little crazy when George Floyd was murdered, the comments that were said were really over the top. In my opinion, bigoted. Um, Never really said much in that group, but I felt an obligation to speak up uh, when you see things that are being said that you really disagree with. A lot of times people say that black officers, they don't have trust in black officers because they don't speak up. But there's times where I've spoken up plenty of times on TV or in the newspaper or social media. I don't shy away from speaking my mind when I think things are wrong. So after a couple of weeks going back and forth with a lot of the people in that group, um, some things were said. A couple of guys just flat out right. Why are you acting like a cop? You're a thug. You're a gangster. You're a drug dealer. You're whatever. Things that they think they know about my history, but you really don't. They don't really know anything about me. They said things like you're an outlaw biker, as if they know me. But either way, I know that that's the general consensus of the people, the most vocal people in that group. And it's not the first time I've had people over the years because I take a stance against police brutality. I've taken a stance against racism and discrimination. Those are the type of things that bigoted minded people say. Never really to my face, but you know, roundabout ways of saying it to other people, rumors, you're a gang member, all this because I care about my community. And that's kind of been, I haven't dealt with it as much, on the job that I work at. I had it a lot more in the beginning of my career. I kept track and documented everything negative that ever happened to me. I can say over the last 10 or 12 years, like my personal experience at work has been pretty pleasant. I haven't had a lot of problems, but I know that there's still people there that feel that way about me from when I first came on the job. But I've dealt with that often. Gang member, drug dealer, you know. Um, I realize that there's certain people you're never going to change the way that they feel. They're happy with the black community and the police department at odds, so they can justify the way they treat people. you know, um, I hate that. We do a lot of work in the community to try to bridge gaps between the black community and the police department. And those people, they tear those bridges down just as quick as we build them. But those are the type of things that we deal with, things I've dealt with. Um, you deal with the bigotry, just like any other person on any other job, you know. And again, this isn't a reflection of my current work situation. This is the things I've experienced. Currently, that situation in these social media groups, yeah, that's current. A lot of these people get a little brave when they're behind the keyboard. They can say certain things and things they wouldn't say to people in person. It got to a point where the conversations got so deep with people, I would just invite them out. Like, hey, if you feel that deeply about it, let's go grab a beer, talk about it in person, or let's go get a coffee. And of course, nobody would take me up on it. Me, I'm a man. I feel like if you feel that deeply, that you feel that you can disrespect somebody, be a man and talk to them face to face. So those things never happen. But that's generally, some of the things I've dealt with on that end. Now the flip side, um, friends, friends, associates. Had this more than one occasion. I've had things said to me by my friends, and they are friends, people I've known for a long time. Um, I call right, right, and I call wrong, wrong. I don't have a color assignment to right or color assignment to wrong, you know. And I've been called some things. I've had my friends come at me, come at my neck like, you're a sellout. You talk like you hate your people. And I'm like, man, I spend a lot of my time, donating my time to the community and talking to people and speaking up against police brutality and discrimination. There's things I've been pretty vocal for the whole entire 25 years. But as a police officer, I'm seeing things differently than what the average person sees. So if it's right is right, it's wrong is wrong. I call right right, and I call wrong wrong. I don't have a color assignment to right and wrong. But over the last couple of months, like I've really lost some friends. A lot of people have taken the opportunity that because of what happened to George Floyd and other things in the media with the police to just express so much hatred towards the police. Kind of trickles down to me sometimes. I know in the comments that people said that you don't have access to the cop that you want to say it to. So a lot of times I end up being the punching bag for people's hatred of police, and I kind of expect it for certain people, but from your friends, it's a little different. Especially people you've known for 30 years. Like I've literally unfriended people that I've been friends for 30 years because of some of the things they've said. I'm not okay with people that want harm to come to police officers because it can happen to anybody. My mother was a police officer for 37 years. I'm not okay with random things happening to police officers or random things or just harm being done to people, period. Like I'm not okay with it. Um, I'm not okay with racism. I'm not okay with discrimination. I'm not okay with things being done to white people as well. I don't have an hatred for white people. I don't have a hatred for police officers. I love police officers. You know what I mean? I speak up when it's time to speak up, but I've experienced things that I feel like in the black community that we need to step up, that we haven't done enough to curb the things that are happening to our young black men and young black women. Um, we haven't taken the same stance against the killings that happen to our young people as we do police killings. You know what I mean? It's an issue. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that I'm ignoring what the police officers have done, the ones that have killed unarmed black men, but it means that I have a concern for young black men and the things that are going on, that we're not doing enough. We're not speaking up enough. We're not curbing the violence. We've accepted so much in the community. You have more of a chance of being killed by someone who looks like you than a police officer. And we can't ignore that. You know what I mean? We still need to address police brutality. We still need to address the way that we're treated in the communities, the things that go on. But we have to address the things that we are doing to we. Not enough is being done. And I think when I say these things, people take it as like, it sounds like you hate black people. Like I don't hate black people. I hate people who cause harm. I hate people who kill black people. You know what I mean? That's the people I hate. And I don't assign that to anyone. You know, I don't take it out on people. I don't look at someone and say, hey, that guy looks like he's a killer, you know, or that girl looks like she's going to kill somebody. But after you've done it, you know, I have a sickness to my stomach about it. I hate that you see it day in, day out, that it keeps occurring. We're not doing enough. You know, people say it's poverty. You know, it's just the conditions that we're in. And I agree. I agree to it. I agree. It's a situation that we're in. The crime is so high that we're still suffering from the effects of slavery, things that happened 400 years ago. We're still affected by it. You know, we haven't got on the level ball field where we need to be, where, you know, that these things don't happen like this to us. However, you know, the change that we're waiting for is something that we have to make ourselves first. We can't depend on other people to make that change for us. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I hate black people. It means I hate the people who kill black people. You know, if you kill a black man, I look at you as no different as the cop that kills a black man. You young man, you kill a black man. You're a young woman, you kill a black man or a black woman. You know what I mean? I look at you the same as the officer that kills that unarmed black man. It's the same to me. It's wrong. I just feel like, you know, I've lost a lot of friends. That's just, I've lost a lot of friends with, you know, between the friends that cop hate and really don't have a concern that I'm a police officer. From the friends that feel like, you know, I'm not over here on the left with them enough. You know I'm not on the right enough for a certain police officer. So here I am dead smack in the middle, and I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing regardless. You know, I don't waver from that. I have some pretty strong principles, and I don't bend those principles for anyone. But, you know, it's kind of sad. You know, some of the friends I've had that I've lost, you know, they were pretty long time friends, you know, and this isn't a response. I've been going back and forth with one of my Facebook friends. I'm not going to say this isn't a response. This is a response to some of the things me and you talked about, but it's not just you. You know, we're still Facebook friends. I blocked about 10 of my good friends, people I went to school with, because of some of the things they've said. And take the opportunity to call me certain things or insinuate. You know, I don't know how many times I've heard sellout. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this stuff is coming out of my friend's mouth, you know, but either way, you know, these are the things that we go through as a black police officer. You know, you're going to catch hate from the community sometimes because you're a cop, and you're going to catch hate from the cops sometimes because you're black. You know, it's like it's a rough situation to be in, but I'm here. You know, I've had overwhelming support. I have friends that come up every day like, man, we appreciate what you do. We appreciate that you're here. We appreciate the work that you do. You know, so I'm not going to take away from the people who care about me, you know, but I am acknowledging that, you know, the other things that happen, you know, wouldn't really matter as much if it wasn't coming from people who I consider friends. And black police officers out there, you know, the ones I've talked to, they're going through the same exact thing. If they don't agree 100% with the way that people feel on social media, you know, we're officers. We have training. We know when we watch a video if the officer is wrong or not. And not every single video the officer has been wrong. I say, in my humble opinion, I'll say that 80% of the videos I watch, the officer is dead wrong. 10%, the situations were iffy, but I wouldn't do it myself. And there may be 10% of those videos where the officer is not wrong at all. You know, and I don't make that a point to defend those officers, but I'd hate to be the officer that does something and I'm doing my job, it gets caught on film, and there are police officers watching it who don't say the officer wasn't really wrong with what he did. You know, but I don't focus on that. I focus on the things that have happened that have been wrong. Those are the things I speak up about the most. But you take that one little portion where you speak up when the officer isn't wrong, and people jump on you, call you sellout, they call you whatever, you know. But the community says they need us. The people say they need us. They need black officers. You would much rather have me pull you over than those officers that are in that group that I ended up getting kicked out of, by the way. I knew I was going to get kicked out sooner or later. So what I'm saying is, appreciate your good officer, appreciate the black officer that's out here. We have a lot that we go through. We have families. We still deal with things that other people deal with. Me at age 50, going on 50, I still have friends that are being killed. There's still friends that I have that have been murdered, within the last year. I deal with the same type of things that we all deal with in the communities that we live in. So, but again, I just said, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I've lost some friends. Maybe, it's something to consider, when we're having these talks on Facebook and these debates, that, sometimes it's better to talk in person rather than some of the things we say on social media, because we tend to say things that we don't say to each other face to face. So, but that's my talk from the day. I'm not on the deck today. I'm in my living room. So I hope that I helped you to understand some of the things that black officers go through. And feel free to comment, inbox, talk. I'm always open for it. So, all right, y'all. Peace.